Hello and welcome to the ADHD Girls podcast with me, Laura.
And me, Claire.
Today we're going to be talking about ADHD and travelling. But first, we're going to talk about how ADHD has shown up for us this week. So, Claire, how has it shown up for you?
So we're in the depths of winter, and it means that trains get cancelled quite a lot. Yeah, it's been flipping freezing and raining. Now, I'm lucky enough in one sense that I've got a lot of options in terms of public transport to get to work. But it does mean that I almost have too many options because I'm like, this line might be okay, but then if this line's down, then I have to take this line. Do I get the bus? If I get the bus, I've got to change at this stop, but then there's roadworks and that. I was like, it's almost like there's too many choices, and I'm thinking I should have got that option to get home. So yeah, I would say this week has been train cancellations and how do I get home?
It's always fun.
Yeah.
For me, and I know this is going to sound silly, but this is partly no shame, but also has ADHD shown up for me. It's when my fuel tank goes to half. Now, say normal person would be like, that's more than enough fuel. I don't do a lot of journeys. It's fine. But my brain starts sweating over, oh my God, but it's only half now. Where's the nearest petrol station? Where am I going on what day? The cost of fuel. What am I doing? Can I tank up? What else do I need? So all of a sudden it just goes into this whole lattice of options. And I know it's ridiculous, but it's for me, it's taking up a lot of my mental time.
So you're running through loads of scenarios. Like I said to you, unless you're driving to Aberdeen, you should have enough fuel in your tank.
I know, and that's the stupid thing. I know
I might need to go to Aberdeen, she says.
But I just might pop up there. You never know. It's ADHD.
There might be no petrol station between here and Aberdeen. You just don't know, do you?
But it's happened before where sometimes I think I've not had a lot, and then I've gone to a petrol station and they're closed. They've got the tanker in. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then I'll start going to another one, and then there's roadworks. And then I'll be like, oh no, it's going quite close to the bottom bit. And I've had it before where my car's just gone to the lines where it's gone below that, and it's just a line. And that to me, it's like, that was when I was pretty much having about 3 nervous breakdowns a second of how am I. And then I'm thinking, where do I park the car to even have I got a petrol thingy in the car? So
and it's not good for your tank, is it, to get that low?
No,
dregs from the bottom.
Going on fumes. And I think because it's happened once, and it will happen once in my entire life, my brain is now anything below half.
Happen again.
Is, oh my God, we need to start searching for petrol stations. So this is the joy of ADHD of, yeah, you're prepared, but it takes up mental
too much prepared
energy. And I know it's nonsense. So
we're going to be talking about travel, but we're going to be talking about different aspects of travel. So it could be the physical aspects of travel, but also the experience of traveling to different places and how travel as a activity can either give you joy or cause you a lot of extra.
And it's probably both at the same time, I find.
ADHD workload.
Yeah, you're looking forward to a trip.
Yeah.
But then there's so much involved in getting that trip.
Yeah.
To get on it.
Yeah.
Because you were saying, like, your friend was like, oh, I missed a flight because I have ADHD. And it's just like, yeah, that can be an aspect of it.
See, that doesn't really happen to me, or it hasn't happened yet, I should say, because my ADHD shows up that I need to be there really early.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because I can't bear the thought of the mental panic and gymnastics I'd have trying to navigate the fact that I was there and I had 10 minutes to get to the flipping gate, and it was an EasyJet flight and it was 3 miles away. So I'd rather not. I know that would cause me a meltdown. So it's weird because that's probably a reason why I didn't think I had ADHD for such a long time, because I was like, well, I'm not late to flights.
It's super organised.
Yeah. I'm like, no, it's not organised. It's because you spend hours and hours debating how to do it and get there early. So that's interesting. You might relate to that. You might think, yeah, I'm on time for stuff. I don't miss trains. I don't miss planes. And it's like, doesn't mean don't discount the fact of ADHD, because that could be a way of trying to avoid the uncomfortable feeling of being late.
Yes, I'm the same. I will be there either 3 hours early or 3 hours late.
Yeah, in between. Yeah,
it's one extreme to the other. I mean, the times that I'd fly, I'd be there, and it would be like, but you've got literally 4 hours until your flight. But then I think it's fine because I've got time to look around, do my thing, and then it's like, right, where's the gate? And then you check the gate, make sure it's there, even though it's like, obviously the gate's going to be there. But you just check it, like, yeah, gate's there, and then I just normally see how far the gate is from other activities. But I'm there and I'm literally looking at, like, double checking, like, that is definitely that time. It is now this time. It's fine. But I am check, because I know the consequences if you're not.
I mean, I was enraged once because the plane actually left early. And I was on it, but I was like, hang on, this isn't right, because I was here. Like, why are you early? It's just really annoying me. It's not right, justice sensitivity. I was like, well, what if somebody else hasn't checked in because you've left early? This isn't supposed to happen.
Maybe everyone was there and they were like,
yeah.
But I remember once I went up to Glasgow with my friend. And for me, it's obviously, I know the layout of local stations and local places. So when you go somewhere completely new, I remember got there, it was fine. And then on the way back, you're trying to navigate somewhere you've never been. And it's a big thing because it's like, if you miss that train, it's very expensive and very stressful of trying to get another one. So we're trying to figure out, and I remember at Glasgow station, I was like, was it that way? Is it that way? Oh, but wait, that's just changed. And it's trying to figure out a new place where you're so used to, right, I know my places, I know London, I'm comfortable with London, even if it comes up whatever platform, you kind of have an idea of where that is. But it's going somewhere new and trying to think, right, where is this? Where am I going? What is happening? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of noise, everything's unfamiliar. And it's navigating that, I think, for me, is the biggest thing, because we nearly missed and somehow my friend noticed something, because we were waiting, and I couldn't see our train on the anywhere on the thing. So I was like, oh, okay, it's not up. And then she's like, no, but it leaves in like literally 3 minutes. I said, I know, but I can't see it on the board. She goes, no, look, somehow she saw it and I didn't. And we had to run for this train. And the stress I had of like, how did I not see something where obviously it must have been there or they put up last minute. But then, I mean, we got on the train, it was fine, but it's that unfamiliarity and that, like, I don't quite know where I'm going, I don't know where I'm looking, and
which is so much to take in, isn't there? It's just so many sensory inputs and so much information you've got to filter through. You can't just rely on, that muscle memory of, it always goes on this platform, I know where this one's going.
Yeah, the layout of places.
Like, it really annoyed me at Christmas when my local train station decided to just stop running the direct train to work. And I was like, okay, are you gaslighting me? Because I know it was there yesterday, and I went up and I said, what's that with this train? He went, oh, we're on a different timetable. It's a Sunday timetable. I was like, it's not Sunday though. No, but it's Christmas. I was like, yeah, it's Christmas. People still going to work for these 2 weeks. Like, why is that? And it's like, oh yeah, it's Sunday. So it's like, yeah, that's not right.
Makes sense.
I've still got to get to work. So why is there no train? And it happened for several years before I realised that they were putting on this Sunday service. I was just like, they just pretending it doesn't. They just take it off the board, or it appeared and then just went. And I was like, oh, you're taking the piss now. I know it's there. And then it went. And I was like, so talking specifically like of ADHD, I mean, I guess there's several aspects to it. But like, I really love travelling somewhere new. And I often thought, I'll just go with the flow. I'll just see what happens. And I do once I'm there, but what I hadn't appreciated is I spend a lot of time, a lot of the enjoyment for me travelling, say, for leisure, is planning it. So I used to think, I just rock up and just see what happens. It's like, yes, I do, but within parameters that I've already spent weeks actually thinking about. And the pleasure for me, a lot of the pleasure is the planning or the, what could I do? Yeah, the anticipation. And it's just, and I guess that goes back to what we were talking before about, doing hyper focus and going down that rabbit hole. It's like, it's more research. It's my brain can think of all these amazing places and I'm visualising them. And it's so, I do a lot before I go somewhere. So yeah, that's quite an interesting revelation because I just thought, I just did whatever and just chose on the day. But I do, but what I hadn't taken into account is in the back of my brain, I've already done a load of research and I've enjoyed that research.
You've prepared yourself.
And I've got loads of different scenarios. It's like, and that's why I can be relaxed because I can think, I really want to do this activity today, but I know in the back of my mind there's loads of options I can fall back on if that falls through.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm able to enjoy travelling, I guess. And why I don't get that stress when I'm away because I know there's loads of things I could do. I tend to find the best out of everything when I go somewhere new and different. Tend not to get too bogged down.
I kind of like because I'm normally gone online, I've seen this, I've seen that. And when I was reading about like ADHD and environments and travelling, there's a thing where we like both the certainty and the uncertainty.
Yeah.
So there's a certainty of, right, I'm going to go to this place and I know what's there, but it's the uncertainty of physically being there and experiencing it.
It's going to be so exciting, isn't it? It's new.
It's something fresh.
Novelty. We need that novelty.
Yeah. That kind of dopamine hit.
Impulsivity. Yeah. And it can take, trying new food for me is a big thing.
Yeah. I find I'm always quite safe with what I have. I am that person that is like, right, I've had this, I'm going to have it again because I know I like that. And it's rare that I try anything new because I'm always like, but it's just that uncertainty. But I think, I've paid money and I know I want to have a nice meal. So for me, for that, it's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and I do relate to that because, yes, I like to try new food, but there's definitely within certain guidelines, I won't try seafood because I find it's got too much potential of causing food poisoning. And I've been with somebody who had very bad food poisoning from seafood. And if that doesn't put you off, I don't know what would. I already was like, I don't want to eat that squid. I'm not touching it. And he was like, it's fine. And he was really, really ill and it ruined a trip. So, yeah, I'm not going to be trying that. But yeah, it's trying new food, but within certain guidelines that we've already thought about that are less risky, perhaps.
Yeah, because if we go somewhere, like you kind of think, I like that, I'll give that a try. So sometimes, I don't know why, my brain is on that spontaneity, like, yes, I can do it, this is going to be great. And 9 times out of 10, food's fine, it's not the end of the world. But if I go to somewhere where I've been a lot, I always think, right, I know that dish was nice and I'm going to stay safe. But somewhere new, it's like, do you know what? I'm feeling in the mood for like that risk of like, I can try it. It's brilliant. And but I think you have to be on that. Your brain has to have that dopamine going of I'm ready to take that risk. Or sometimes it's in that space of no, I'm ready to not take any risks and I want to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And it depends how many other decisions you've had to make that day or how much of a risk you've had on that trip that might affect whether you want to take a risk with something new to eat.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of a distinction between the travel that you have to do every day to get to work or to get to familiar places and the travel that you do when you're purely for leisure.
Yeah.
And, when you're traveling for leisure, you haven't got to think about, I've got to be at work at a certain time. You're much more open to different experiences. But sometimes some of the things I struggle with travel that I take day to day are just the sheer number of people on the train. And a big anxiety for me is have I got my earphones, because I found that it's everywhere that people are listening to really loud reels on their phone with no headphones, so the whole carriage has got to hear this utter drivel, whatever their choice of music is, or some stupid video, or they're having a video conference with multiple people at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, I don't want to hear that, it gives me rage. So big anxiety for me is have I've got my noise cancelling headphones in, because again it's that sensory input, and I just know if I've got lots of different people talking or playing different types of music, it's just too much for my brain to cope with. It's getting split into different quarters. Not quarters, segments, and it's like it's then impacting in my brain. I can't just switch it off. It's so much. I mean, I will move if I can, but obviously in the rush hour it's very difficult. It does cause me a lot of distress. So the biggest tip I would say is, if you're somebody like me or yourself, Laura, who struggles with that noise sensitivity, is make sure you've got some form of earphones.
Yes. So for me, it's headphones. I've got these really soft ones. And depends, because obviously depending on where you are, if you're on the underground, sometimes you don't have coverage to be listening. So make sure maybe try and get something downloaded where you've got that to latch onto, if you've got safety, some either a podcast, a book, some news. It's something that you have access to at all times, because network coverage can be pricey. For me, I'll have a snack in my bag, because I get hangry.
Yes.
I'm very hungry. And I find as well, if there's a lot going on, I just think, right, if I can just have a bit of a hit of, I normally have like a little nut bar or something like that, and I just have that, I feel, okay, I'm a bit more regulated. Also, I make sure I'm trying to be comfortable. I also have my sunglasses with me, because I find if I'm already overstimulated in one sense, sunlight, anything, even if it's a cloudy day, I can find like, oh God, I'm really sensitive to light, because I can hear noise, there's a lot of people around me. Yeah. And I find in winter it's difficult for buses or anything like that, because normally you've got big coats on, big everything. Oh God, and you're sitting down, everyone's squashed together with their massive coats and scarves and everything.
And then the heating's on full blast, which we very rarely, I would say, in this country, we need the heating on that high. And, sometimes it's just gross. You're sat next to a heater and it can be almost practically burning your ankle because it's right next to your foot. It's like, oh, this is so unpleasant.
Yeah, I feel like a lobster. I'm like, I'm cooking, I'm sweating, I'm over everything. I can hear everyone's talking.
It's a really good point about how if one sensory input is too much, your other senses are then heightened as well.
Join in and go, I'm over.
Yeah.
Everyone starts clamouring like, I'm overstimulated.
I feel I know forensic detail of every train. Maybe I should be a train spotter, I don't know, but I know at what time train will have a certain carriage. I know that carriage doesn't have windows are open, or I know that that carriage has air conditioning, and I will pick the train. Like in the summer, I will pick the train that's got air conditioning.
Mm.
I now know which ones do. I'd rather wait longer and pick a train that has air conditioning because it's less it's just a stress on my body to sit there in an air conditioning. This is in the summer, obviously, and then it is to sit there sweating because that's just another input that I don't need. It's more uncomfortable, and so yeah, if I've got my headphones on, I mean, I've got noise cancelling. I've got these big ones that are noise cancelling, and they emit this sound that like basically blocks any kind of background noise. But you can have a setting so you can still hear like announcements or something like that. Or I've got the loop ear.
Yeah, tell me about the loop.
Yeah, I mean, they are good. They're not as good as
what are they called?
Loop. So there's different options. There's loads of options. The best ones I've got a switch. They're called switch, and you can switch between 3 different settings because I want some for work that are. I still want to hear people.
Well, some people.
If someone's asking a question, I want to be able to hear. But I need to. It changes the frequency at which you hear. So it's hard to explain. Everyone will experience them differently, but I just find they're a good option for work because you're still able to hear, although you can get ones that block out everything, I think. So loops are good. They're really small. They're indiscreet. You might not necessarily see someone wearing them. They're good to have if you're travelling on a train because, like I say, you can switch. So, because I do need to hear announcements or something, if they're going to say, actually, this train's terminating, this next, I do need to hear that. And I like to be aware of my I don't honestly like being on a train and be completely noise cancelled because I need to be aware of my surroundings. So yeah, they are good for the train actually. You can sleep in them. There is a sleep version. I've got quite a few different versions to be honest. The thing that I find annoying is that I worry about losing them because they're tiny. So for me sometimes I prefer to have just your bog standard earphones and play music. Often I'll just play music or sound because it's not noise in itself that's the issue, it's other people's noise or it's the different types of noise all going on simultaneously. Yes. So if I can just be playing my music in my ears, it means that I've got control over it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the fact that if I don't have them in, I could be hearing a conversation over there, someone shouting over there, someone playing rap music, someone else playing another type of music, someone else having a work conference call. It's just like, no, there's just too many options. I'm splitting. So yeah, there's always different options. But yeah, for me, it's the biggest game changer knowing that you don't have to sit and listen to that. If I can move, I will move. Obviously, I would say don't be afraid to get up and move to another carriage because there's nothing worse than just sitting there and feeling really angry and resentful that the person next to you is shouting.
Yes, because I mean, earlier on when we were in the cafe, it was quite busy, but we could hear each other. Yeah. The volume of the cafe was absolutely fine, and it was very busy. And then a group came in. It wasn't big, I think it was 4 of them. And the whole atmosphere just changed where it was very noisy. We struggled to hear each other and we struggled to then focus.
We were both like, should we go?
Yeah, we literally changed straight of like, it's literally just 4 people. And that's all you could hear now in this cafe are these 4 people. And it just shows you where it's sometimes not the volume of people, it is just certain people that are a certain way. And it just kind of then changes the whole dynamic of an area. And it's just then having that confidence to say, John, we're just going to go. This is not enjoyable. We can't hear each other. And this is just annoying. So we've now at a point where we're just going to go. And we come somewhere quiet and peaceful with just birds and sunshine.
Yeah, it's actually got a bit of sunshine stuff.
So it's nice. And it's a lot calmer as well, where you think you're then, obviously we enjoy our time together anyway, but it's more enjoyable to be in a nicer setting where we can be like, we can be calm and, really, really enjoy it.
So going on to some more sort of hints and tips and what we find useful, things we want to try. When we are flying, and there are options for people. So if you struggle with the sensory hell that can be an airport and you can get yourself in that freeze state or that fight or flight state of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be going, there's too many people. There are some options. So one of them is the sunflower lanyard, which I think most UK airports are quite clued up on now about. I mean, I haven't used all these airports, but I know Gatwick, for instance, I think they were one of the first ones to use the sunflower lanyard. I haven't used it yet myself, but I know my next trip I am planning to see if there's any kind of way it can make the whole process easier.
I read somewhere that if you have a sunflower lanyard, you can go through the fast track security.
Okay.
So that's what I've heard.
Yes.
I can't say it's definite because, again, it sometimes depends who you get on the day.
Yeah.
It might be a rule, but I don't know. So
Exactly. It's like we can say that this handbook, we don't know. We haven't personally used it yet, but I know both of us are planning to use it next time we go and fly. And the other option, something I definitely want to try, is using an airport lounge. And I know you can pay for that, but there is other options.
There's so many ways where I think if you've got certain credit cards, some of them come free. Also, if you go online, like you could just put it in as, I think if you've got certain air miles or if you're part of certain frequent flyer clubs, you can either get it cheaper or there are many, many options to go in, use one. Because obviously we get to the airport 4 days in advance. So for us it would be like, we can hang out here for like a while.
I think it's a great idea. I don't know why I've never used it yet. I think
depends who you're flying with and what airport and what terminal to what lounge you have access to.
I'd be happy to pay a reasonable sum of money if it meant that I get to that gate less frazzled. Because it's not just noise and people. It's we talk about is it olfactory? Is that the sense of smell?
Yeah. So Gatwick Airport, if you're listening, we have some advice for you.
We have some feedback for you. And when you fly from Gatwick South Terminal, I think it is. I haven't been to North for a while, but South Terminal, you have no option but to go through
the duty-free section.
And hell for me and you is the duty-free section, which is extremely loud, bright, and there are people spraying perfume everywhere. One of my migraine triggers is strong perfume. And it's just it's not just one smell, it's so many smells all fighting and competing against each other. And it's just hideous. It's like the worst thing you can, if you have a sensitive sense of smell, the worst thing is to force people to go through this hall and be sprayed before they've even got to the rest of the shops. It's please, Gatwick, give it another option for people to not have to go through. Maybe this is what happens when you have the sunflower lanyard. Maybe you don't have to walk through that whole way. And I'm going to investigate because it's so unpleasant. Some smells make me feel really sick. And, it's not just people with neurodivergence. I think a lot of people would like to have a choice over what smells are sprayed in their face.
Yes. And as well, it's very overpowering. It's and it's such a small space as well where you're walking through it, where you're just like, I've got nowhere else to go. Like, I can't physically go any other way.
Sense of smell is so personal. What smells nice to someone else can smell like cat's piss to somebody else. And I think I should have a choice over that. And that is just a big part of the stress and the overwhelm for me.
It's the same for me.
You as well.
When I went through it, and then it's onto another bit where you've got everywhere shop, obviously.
I've got to process all these smells.
Yeah.
And now it's just, no.
Because I think I don't want to have a look through anything because the lights hurt my eyes there.
Yeah, it's so bright,
isn't it? That horrible lighting.
The music, and it's all that environment of like, buy.
Special offer. Everything's a special offer. Well, I just want to get away from here because this is not... I don't want to buy anything. It actually makes the opposite effect on me because then I'm there going, I don't want to be here. I'm not spending anything. I just want to get out of here.
It makes you feel a bit shut down and and I know people I've travelled with have found the same and it makes us grumpy and, whether you've got ADHD or not. But I think it's a particular problem with people because, we've got heightened sensory receptors.
It's just too much. Yeah, the lights, the smell, everything is just
it's gross. And that's before we've even got to the flight. And if you've got problems with flying and you've got your nervous flyer, this is a state you're in before you even got to that point. So please, Gatwick. So I think, the key thing is I want to try out that sunflower.
That will be interesting. That will be a good podcast to find out how that goes.
Yeah. And see, does
it have any benefits? Let's be honest.
Yeah, does staff talk you through the process? Do you go to a different queue? Is given a bit more time?
Anyone listening, if you've got sunflower lanyard and you've used it at any airport or anything, please let us know. Has it actually helped you? We've got the Facebook page or on this podcast. Just let us know, what is your experience? Has it genuinely helped? Or is it just there as I don't know, some places I suppose have to say, we're doing something for you,
we've
whatever.
The box, but what
is it actually gives you any benefit?
How is it helping people with these experiences? So
I'll be quiet.
I've heard anecdotally from people, but I would love to know a bit more and say, from people with ADHD, how has this made your experience of flying from Gatwick or anywhere else? How has it made it better? That that's our nearest airport, isn't it?
Yes. So
more experience. Well,
please let us know. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. So we're going to now go into the no shame zone, where every week we talk about something that in the past has kind of shamed us or we feel ashamed about, but now we kind of see it from a different point of view with all our online Googling. So my daughter, who is strongly suspected ADHD, she has many, many traits of it. She struggles a lot with what other girls say to her. So she's 10, and it is that age where it seems to be younger and younger. Girls are very mean. And some girls were having a go at her, being really, really horrible. And she was there going like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And I can relate to that because when I was younger, again, I'd had a similar thing of, oh, people are being unkind. I know this is horrible, but I don't know what to say because I don't want to get like punched or, I don't want to escalate. I just want them to leave me alone. So talking about it to my daughter, I basically said to her, well, no other child or person, and this goes for the listener as well, has any authority over you. So it's just because someone's saying something to you, deep down you know that's not nice. You have every right to just go, do you know what, this doesn't belong to me.
Yeah.
This isn't mine. And so in my daughter's head, I'll just say to her, well, just kind of think, I don't care what you think. You could just say it in your head. You don't say it out loud because obviously you don't know how it's going to escalate. But you could just think, I genuinely don't care what you think. This person doesn't have any authority or any say over it. And if they kind of keep going on, I just said to her, just go, okay. Because you just think you don't care. It stops it. And if they keep going on, just go, okay. And just keep saying, okay. And eventually they'll get bored and hopefully go. If it escalates into anything else, then that's on them. But just say, okay. Just kind of shut it down and I'll say to her, it doesn't belong to you.
And is this something that you would relate to as well? When you were that
when
age?
I was younger, it was always saying horrible things. And it's just that unknown of, I know this is horrible, but I don't know what to say. And it's just that thing of just say, okay. It doesn't, and just in your head, just kind of go, I don't care what you say. So that's what it brought up those memories for me of, oh God, yeah, I remember this. This is horrible. And so I'm hoping that I've given her a bit of just that boost on, doesn't belong to you, and just say, okay, whatever.
I kind of think of a metaphor when you're saying that as if somebody's handing something to you and say it's a physical object, maybe it's a letter and they're giving it to you and you don't have to take it.
Yeah.
You can just go, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So just because they're saying that
doesn't mean anything.
You don't have to take it on. So yeah, just think of a metaphorical, no thanks, I don't want that envelope. You can keep that one.
It's all yours.
If I don't take it, I don't have to do with it. For me, I've had some problems with my teeth and I had a few options I needed to make and I wasn't sure about the first suggestion. So it was, in the past I would have gone, I've always been quite self-reliant. I think that's part of the ADHD as well, the wanting to fix things. And I was like, no, I'm going to ask for a second opinion and I'm going to ask for help. And I'm going to ask a few people as well that I know if it's something that they've dealt with. And yeah, I think the shame in the past would have been, you've got to handle this on your own. You've got to fix it. And I think realising not everybody thinks like that. And some people are absolutely fine with asking for a second opinion. And it's like, oh, okay, it's fine. It's no problem in that. I don't have to make, because I think with ADHD is that there's that need to make a decision quickly.
Yes.
And there's that almost like panic, like it's got to be dealt with. It's because we've got to cope with uncertainty. It's like, no, I've got to close that option down. It's like, no, it's fine. It's almost expected to say, yeah, I need to think about that. I need a second opinion. So that would be for me.
Because you have to go either yes or no.
Yeah.
I suppose they're going, actually, I'm not going to choose either option. I'm going to take a step back. And
this is, I would say this is a real positive trait of ADHD, is this resilience and this working around something. You don't have to go with the first option. So it's actually, it's a kind of a contradiction because you want to make those decisions really quick because your brain is like needing that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to cope with uncertainty. But on the flip side, we are great problem solvers and there's different ways to do things. It's more like, we are experts at thinking, like, you said no, someone said no to me, but I'm going to try a different way. So I think that's a real positive.
That is, I think, like just that taking that pause.
Yeah.
And going, I need more time.
Yeah.
Because like you say, sometimes you think, okay, well, what do I do? And you almost think, I have to make a choice right now. But it is so important that sometimes you just go, do you know what? I'm going to pause and take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture.
The ADHD brain can trick you into thinking this is urgent crisis mode. I need to decide now. And we are great in a crisis, don't get me wrong. But sometimes that's not needed.
Yes.
And it's okay to go, I'm going to think of a different way, a third way.
Yes. Let's review my options. Let's have a real good look at this.
Yeah.
So that's important. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.